You may have seen a hashtag that's gone viral this week, hashtag Ricky Renuncia or hashtag Ricky Vete Ya. It's a call for Ricardo, or Ricky Rosselló, the governor of Puerto Rico, to resign. If you don't know what's happening in Puerto Rico, I'm here to catch you up. The governor has been under fire for a while, but the straw that broke the camel's back was an almost 900-page leaked group chat in which him and some of his bros, some government officials, some not, made misogynistic and violent comments, like when they called a New York councilwoman an expletive that means prostitute. Comments like when one of them said that he was salivating thinking about shooting at San Juan Mayor Carmen Yulin. The same guy made really odd homophobic comments in the chat about Ricky Martin's sexuality, and made gruesome jokes about the people who died in Hurricane Maria. The chat also showed how they strategized to manipulate public discourse in the administration's favor by working behind the scenes with local media. They shared confidential and privileged information with people in the chat who were not government officials. The government has apologized for his comments and his participation in the chat, but today the Department of Justice in Puerto Rico ordered that all of the members in the chat turn their phones for an investigation. But the people of Puerto Rico, who've been known in the past to raise their voice in protest and hit the streets in record numbers, are gathering today by the tens of thousands. Projections are up to 100,000 in an island of just over 3 million, to demand Rosselló's immediate resignation. Joining the march and calling people out to protest will be some of Puerto Rico's biggest stars, including singers like Bad Bunny, Ricky Martin, Residente, and more. Puerto Ricans are not just protesting the inappropriate, offensive, and perhaps illegal actions and comments in a chat among bros in power. Federal authorities in the island are investigating and have already charged top officials of Rosselló's administration for corruption, fraud, money laundering. Just to give you an example, former Secretary of Education Julia Kellner, who by the way is not Puerto Rican, she's from Pennsylvania, but was appointed by Rosselló after she worked for the U.S. Department of Education in the island, is now facing a 30-year prison sentence and a $250,000 fine for money laundering, theft of government funds, conspiracy, and fraud. And this comes after the Rosselló administration closed over 400 public schools in the island. The Healthcare Insurance Administration director and about a dozen other members of the Rosselló administration and party are facing similar charges. In the 90s, Pedro Rosselló, the governor's father, served 2 terms as governor. Around 40 members of his administration faced federal corruption charges, with multiple of his top cabinet members ending up in prison. 15 years later, his son is given a second chance, and history seems to repeat itself. Puerto Rico has endured a history of exploitation and extraction in the hands of the U.S. for a century, which has resulted in a massive debt crisis, nearly collapsed infrastructure, and add to that the impact of Hurricane Maria. The last thing Puerto Ricans will tolerate now is more local corruption. That's why they're marching today from the Capitol building to the governor's mansion in the tens of thousands to get Ricky out.